a little bit on the bumpy side. We were planning to go and collect that Jodel.
Outside traffic, Golf Alpha Whiskey Sierra, this is approaching John on left downwind 25, side traffic.
Go and collect that Jodel that you may have seen in the video, depending on which order. I know that I've got tomorrow sorted out. Today's Thursday the 5th of April. Tomorrow's will be one of last year's when I flew with John Owen in the X-Air, so I know that one's going out. I also filmed Boys and Their Toys, which was a road trip we did to Haddenham in order to have a look at the Jodel D9 that John's picked up from there, and also the Signet which Matt is going to have. So we were going to go down to
Outside traffic, Golf
we were going to go down to Haddenham and pick that up. Now the day is fine, don't get me wrong, but the problem we had was the fact that a lot of the grass strips around are waterlogged, and Haddenham is no difference. We had to walk it in wellies, as you've probably seen if you've seen that video. And the last thing we wanted to do was fly into it's a very long strip, it's a very nice strip, but to fly into a strip that we didn't really know and have no contact with, only to find that we were sinking in the mud, or worse than that, the little Jodel, which has got tiny little spindly undercarriage, would dig in and flip over. So we've decided to be a little bit cautious on that one and leave that till we know that the ground has dried up a little bit. It then left us with the problem of having a really, really nice day, and not being 100% sure where we were going to fly to. I'm going to take the... oh no, not
outside traffic, Golf left right 25.
I was going to take the fuel pump off, but I'm not. I'm going to leave the fuel pump on and feed from the rear tank for a while, because I did fuel up ready for the Haddenham trip, which means I'm sort of slightly heavier. But it did leave us with a problem of knowing where to go, because all of the grass strips around are closed due to waterlogging. So we wanted to have just a little flight, even if it was just a little flight. So we decided to go to Old
Buckenham traffic, Golf Alpha Yankee Golf Golf, 3 minutes to the overhead from the east, Farming Corner.
So we gave Old Buckenham a call, bearing in mind that we...
traffic, Golf to the traffic, Golf Charlie, Charlie Uniform, Foxtrot, 810 outbound.
We gave Old Buckenham a call on the basis that we knew that the tarmac would be okay, but it's one of those things they had to think very carefully about it, because they said that all of their grass areas are unserviceable. So the grass where we normally park outside the cafe and the club room is not usable, but they did reckon that they could squeeze us in, so that's where we're off to. John is over there on our wingtip, lower than us, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pick it up with any of the cameras. I didn't get a chance to see whether that back camera is working. It's a different system, because that GoPro 4, the battery wasn't particularly good, and it seems to be that the battery life on them isn't all that brilliant. So what I did is I bought a power pack, a battery replacement system. I'll link it in the description below if anybody's interested. And the idea is you take the battery out and you feed the power from either a power brick, which I have got. I've got a power brick here, but what I'm doing at the moment is I'm feeding it off the aircraft supply. I've got a 2 amp and a 1 amp. Sorry.
Farming Corner traffic, Golf Alpha Yankee Golf Golf, descending dead side. driving corner.
A couple of buzzards or something. So I must be getting old. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so I'm powering that off the USB charger directly from the aircraft. It basically means that whereby I was only getting about 40 minutes from the battery in the GoPro, it will now should record for the length of the card. Not that I want to record, which I think is 6 hours. I did have some problems with a SanDisk Ultra when it did those follow-on files. And I had the original one, but I never got the follow-ons. I took that up with SanDisk themselves. GoPro told me to pick it up with SanDisk. And when I was talking with them or emailing with them, they said that the Ultra wasn't actually matched to the GoPro, and that I needed to use an Extreme, which of course was a little bit more money. So I then changed and I bought 3 Extreme discs, which we're now using for the time being. So we'll just wait and see what that one has to say.
Starting kind of traffic golf downwind. The 2-4, driving corner.
If this side camera picks it up, which it should do, we're just going to go over the A14 now. Monument I've got is about 6 miles ahead. If you remember when we came from that trip when I was talking about Felixstowe, when I came back this way, we were looking for a little tiny reservoir, so I'll keep an eye out for that. John's gone quite wide, but he's got the speed, he can get back here in no time at all. But yeah, it's a little bit on the bumpy side. What I didn't realise when I was talking about Felixstowe in that last one, I did some research, as you saw, and I was talking about the flying boats and how they'd been using Felixstowe for a long time, and then John was telling...
Starting corner, traffic golf final, 2-4, driving corner.
John was talking about the submarine mining station. But when I was looking up in the internet, it was actually talking about during the Second World War, there was it Operation Outbound or something like that? Again, I'll link that in the description. But what they did is they launched several thousand hydrogen balloons from RAF Felixstowe. The idea being is that they trailed a cable and they were supposed to be snaring the electricity pylons and causing havoc that way, which, you know, I don't know the effectiveness of it, but it seemed like quite an interesting setup. But I'll link that video at the top there somewhere. If you haven't already seen it, then have a look, see for yourself. Very nice looking house down there. I'm trying to see whether it's in the picture. I think it should be.
Old Buckenham, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel, Buckenham, hello, have your details. We're on 25 right-hand circuit, the QFE 1011.
1011, 25 right, and we're looking to join via the mast.
Echo Hotel, Roger, keep a good look out. I have one aircraft on about a 1.5 mile final, another proposing to join from the mast as well, a PA-28.
Okay, looking, thanks. Golf Echo Hotel.
Golf Sierra Charlie, the beam attacks the mast on runway 25.
Golf Sierra Charlie, Roger, thanks. Break, Golf Echo Hotel, your position?
Just approaching the mast. Looking for traffic at the moment. I think it's probably best to do an orbit to give him backtrack time.
That sounds like a plan to me, thanks.
Okay, Hotel, orbiting to the right.
Bravo's now V4, live formation with the Echo Hotel, contact that and the other aircraft.
Juliet Bravo, roger, as you may have gathered, 25 right in use, QFE 1011.
1011, Delta Hotel. Juliet Bravo is joining long finals, contact on head.
Juliet Bravo, roger, thanks, break Echo Hotel, traffic in front of you is probably going to be vacated within the next 30 seconds.
Okay, I am actually at the mast at the moment.
Roger, I assume you are ahead of Juliet Bravo.
Yeah, that's correct.
Juliet Bravo's long final, contact one head.
Juliet Bravo, roger.
Keep it rolling to the end, Tim.
Shall do.
Echo Hotel, welcome, 180 backtrack as soon as you can, please, one behind you.
Shall do. I can pull off here and wait for Juliet Bravo.
I'm afraid not, you need to do a full length backtrack, there is nowhere safe for you to go other than at the end of the taxiway.
Are you aware of that, Juliet Bravo?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go round.
Sorry, did warn you, but we have absolutely nowhere that's outside of the 30 metre exclusion zone otherwise.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for Echo Hotel is clear of the active.
Echo Hotel, roger, thanks, and welcome. If you keep rolling, we have got sufficient space for you to park just behind the blister hangar.
We'll go Echo Hotel.
Actually, Echo Hotel, if you disregard, can I put you next to the Piper Cub off to your...
Yeah, fine.
Roger, many thanks, we've got a Grob in and he's taking up all the space.
Old Buckenham, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel.
Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel, your readability is 5, the runway in use is 25, with a right-hand circuit and a QNH 1018.
25, right hand 1018, and got your 5 also. Echo Hotel.
Golf Echo Hotel, suggest you call ready for departure at the Charlie Hold.
Wilco, Echo Hotel.
Old Buckenham Radio, Golf Charlie Delta Juliet Bravo, ZRV4, in loose formation with Echo Hotel. Copied all the information and request go behind him onto Charlie.
Yeah, nothing known to affect your departure, runway 25.
Golf Juliet Bravo.
Echo Hotel is ready for departure at Charlie.
Yeah, Roger, surface wind is 270, less than 5.
Golf Juliet Bravo lining up for immediate departure behind Echo Hotel.
Juliet Bravo, with a departing in sight, nothing known to affect your departure, runway 25.
That's strange, Tim can't see me on the ground.
No. Whereabouts are you?
Coming up on your right hand wingtip.
Are we going back?
Yep.